brought to you by your friends at Cablevision, Cable Ads, and All Car Automotive Centers. Tonight's game features the Preble Hornet boys taking on the East Red Devils. Now, here's your announcers for tonight's game, Don Benkowski and Mike McKenna.
Hello, everybody. We're at Washington Middle School tonight. It's the Fox River Valley Conference basketball game. It's going to be the Green Bay East Red Devils, the home team tonight, against the visiting Preble Hornets. Mike McKenna is with me tonight. I'm Don Benkowski, and Mike, tonight, up for grabs. Who's got it? Who's got the conference title?
You know, to be honest with you, normally we prepare for these games and you talk to coaches, you talk to others, you watch some of these teams play, you do some reading on them, and you have a pretty good feeling as to what might happen. Tonight, I have absolutely no idea, and I'm being real honest with you. No idea.
I talked to both coaches prior to the game, just maybe half an hour ago, 45 minutes. And, you know, how does your team feel? Are they ready? Are they tight? Are they loose? Both coaches say, well, you know, like Kessley says, we had a great 4 weeks of practice. Just great 4 weeks. You know, Keith Wall, 25-year master at the game, says, well, you know, the kids are playing good. They're not tight. They're not loose. They're pretty decent. So you don't really get much out of the coaches. They all say, we hope that they come out to play.
What we can say, though, is this is a real bell ringer for the guy who put the schedule together. You have two teams tied for the lead. This is it, the final game of the season. I will say there's a chance you're going to be on your own tonight.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game tonight. It all depends. You know, I suppose you'd have to go back and say, for Green Bay East, how well is Kevin Ohm going to ditch it off, pass it off, shoot? Of course, you've got more than Ohm. You've got Horachov, you've got Melanson, you've got McGee. For Preble.
And Van Ryzen also.
And Van Ryzen,
really
correct. Great jumper.
East will go 5 deep. When you heard from the coach at Sheboygan North talking about how if he had to rank the game, he'd say, well, East was 5 stronger across the board. But what Preble does with their 3 is pretty tough.
Yes, correct.
We're going to be seeing 5 of the top 8 scorers in the conference play tonight. 3 of those, of course, Lemeron and Raleigh and Roney for Preble.
And it all depends, I guess, how well Adam Lemeron will play. He's a big man underneath the basket, 6'6".
6'6", and you know what he does is not only rebound and score. You'd expect that. What I found in watching him play is he's really improved on defense. You don't just penetrate that lane and look for the hole. You're going to be looking at 6'6" staring at you, and it's going to make you adjust your shot, either shoot a little bit off balance, adjust your arc, and that all has a bearing as to the percentage of shots that go in.
And I'm sure that Coach Kessley is concerned about Lemeron's play. As he said earlier, he said, well, you know, Roney really didn't hurt us the last time we played, but Roney could hurt us this time. So, you know, it's between Roney and Raleigh, and you've got, as you said, some of the big scorers here tonight. It's going to be a very interesting basketball game.
That's what we're here for.
Number one for the conference. Then the interesting thing after this game is all over, it starts all over again next week.
Yeah, one of the weird things about the WIAA is it's not a seeded tournament. So what you're going to have is you're going to have Preble getting a bye, and then you've got East with Steve Kessley playing against Pulaski with Father Fred Kessley, and then the winner faces Preble. So what you're going to have really 2 of the better teams eliminated quickly.
That's the unfortunate part of the tournament. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could make that bracket come down to the end, you know, where they're back into the play possibly. Well, we've got first place coming up here in the Fox River Valley Conference. Who it is, we can't say. I know we had a barn burner for the JV game, and if that's any indication, well, this could be really a loud one tonight.
The JV, Preble's JV won by 2 in overtime, and frankly, that wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened in the varsity game.
Well, I think East has got revenge coming on Preble, so after the last time they played in January, Preble did beat East, and we'll see what's going to happen tonight.
It'll be rocking.
Yes, it will be, just like we're doing out there with the music now. We're just minutes away from the tip-off. We're going to take time out here on Cablevision. We'll be back with that tip-off at center court in just a moment on Cablevision, your community sports connection.
your sales with cable ads. Maximize your advertising dollars through cable television. Get broad market coverage with CNN, ESPN, TNT, and reach young adults on MTV. Plus, attract new customers with USA, the #1 cable network, women with Lifetime, upscale viewers with the Discovery Channel, and TNN for a huge audience. 8 great networks to reach your market potential. Cable ads, your advertising solution. Call now and discover the difference.
Could your family use a change of pace? Check out Pay-Per-View in March. Superhuman and super crazy. The Meteor Man is here. Hulk Hogan, a babysitter? Mr. Nanny is too much. Ultra hip Pauly Shore is going country in Son-in-Law. A whale of an adventure for kids of all ages. Free Willy. And you can't help but fall in love with Sleepless in Seattle. This March, there's something for everyone on Pay-Per-View.
Ready for tip-off. Coming up in just a few seconds, they're going to be introducing the 2 teams here at Washington Middle School. And we are going to have a very loud group here tonight, Mike.
It's electric. It's electric both ways.
I might mention, too, that the PA announcer did make an announcement. Any obscene or vulgar or inappropriate type of conduct or statements, anything that's done that is not for good sportsmanship, the person will be automatically ousted of the game. So that's good. Well, we've got to have something because this is a very important game.
Absolutely. Maybe we should do the starting lineups. For the visiting Green Bay Preble Hornets, number 21, Jason Rowley's a 5'8 senior. Number 33, Chris Vosco is a 6-foot senior guard forward. Number 51, Adam Limerond, a 6'6 senior center. Number 53 is Brad Roney. He's a 6'5 senior forward. Number 35 starting tonight is Marcus Holtz. Marcus, a 6'1 senior guard forward. For the home team, the East Red Devils, 24. Kevin Ohm, a 6'3 senior. (34) Pete McGee, a 6'3 junior. 44 is Corey Horachop, a 6'4 senior. 54 is Dave Mellenthin, a 6'5 sophomore. And 50 is Kurt Van Ryzen, a 6'4 senior.
Right now, the players that Mike called off on the lineup are being introduced, and the final one coming out now is Mellenthin, number 54. And this place is going raucous tonight. It's a rather small gym, a lot of bounce for noise, and you're going to get it here tonight.
Well, and, you know, the announcement about sportsmanship is well taken. You know, these are 2 schools that are virtually neighborhood schools. There's some competitiveness. The kids have grown up together. Well, you point out it's kind of a cracker box, and the last thing you'd want is to have a problem in here because it'd be tough.
And you never know when you have 2 rivalries going on, such as the 2 teams you have now for first place. A lot of things can happen. They talked about members of the band, no band music, you know, nothing during the actual playing time. So let's make it a sport game and not a spectator-type game where you get involved. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for first place in the Foxborough Valley Conference. The tip-off goes to the Green Bay Preble Hornets. And it's picked up by Brad Roney, number 53, who takes it across the timeline. You're going to see a lot of ball movement by both teams. Perhaps Preble may play it a little bit more deliberate than the East Red Devils, but you're going to find the East Red Devils playing a man-to-man defense as they normally do. The first shot of the ball game taken by Jason Rowley, number 21. The rebound picked up by Preble, Mark Holtz. Holtz into the corner.
See, Holtz gives you more size than Van Rossum. Holtz is 6'1 senior.
And I think Coach Keith Wall decided he would start all the seniors tonight, which is, you know, the last game of their season as far as the regular conference game. Intercepted. And the East Red Devils go on the attack on a bad pass.
When you watch East,
Underneath.
you watch man-to-man.
Yes. Pass to Horachov, and he's got 2 of the first points of the game.
To say, Don, when you watch East play, you're going to be facing a man-to-man, as you pointed out, and it really caused that turnover. Watch the pressure. Watch them work on defense. They are the most defensive area team in terms of points allowed. They give up on the conference only 43.8 points allowed.
The Hornets on the attack. They're in the green and white uniform tonight. Underneath, back out to Holtz. Holtz drives into the paint, puts it up, no good, short, rebound, picked up nicely by Van Ryzen. Kurt Van Ryzen, number 50, a good jumper. Underneath the Mellington, missed the shot. Adam Lemeron, 6'6", grabs the rebound. He'll be an important cog for the Preble Hornets tonight. Tipped out of bounds by Pete McGee. First period of play, the Hornets are leading by a score of 2-0. Excuse me, the Red Devils rather are leading by a score of 2-0. The Hornets on the attack. In and out for Holtz, for Roney. Number 24, Kevin Ohm. You'll find that he'll dish off and pass the ball around. He'll be the quarterback out here in the far outside of the court. Take that shot by Pete McGee. No,
Actually,
Mellington,
right. Watch the defense. That's Kevin Ohm, 24, playing the defense there. He's on his way to UWGB next year.
Underneath the Holtz. Holtz back out. Back to Holtz. Holtz tries it. No good. An air ball. Rebound picked up by Roney. By Voskill. Chris Voskill. And they're going to call a foul. First foul of the night. Kurt Van Ryzen will pick up foul number 1 for the Green Bay East Red Devils. Voskill goes out, or rather Holtz goes out of the lineup. Coming in is
That's Van Rossum in.
Kevin Van Rossum, number 11, who is a sophomore.
.53 is Roney, the conference's second leading scorer. In fact,
Roney.
last week he was a leading scorer. He didn't have a great game, and someone from Manitowoc played an extra game. Fennell, I believe he pronounces his name, from Manitowoc. In order to surpass him, Roney would need 22 points tonight.
Green Bay East with the ball. They lead 4-0 in this game. First few minutes of the game, 4:36 remaining in the first period. We talked earlier about the JV game. Preble won that one, 45-43 in an overtime. Ball goes out of bounds. A foul is called, and it'll be called on Preble. Chris Voskill gets charged with the foul, number 33. Shot short.
Kind of like some boxers slugging it out here, just kind of getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's the way they play the beginning usually, is to feel each other out, find what's going to happen, what defense are you going to throw at us. Underneath, a good feed, no, basket was no good. Van Ryzen couldn't put it in. A great pass by Horachov.
But I'll tell you, that's what we talked about with Lemeron. Lemeron will change your shot underneath. Looks like a bunny, but with 6'6" staring you in the face there and those long, gangly type arms, it's not an easy layup.
Watching East in practice, they had a tough time making baskets in practice.
That becomes a lot tougher with Lemeron in your face, but that is Lemeron's first foul.
Pete McGee makes the first of 2 free throws. And it's 5-0. Now McGee makes it 6. The Hornets on a slow start. Have hit only a couple of shots at the basket so far. Roney, yes. 2. Thought he would have been pretty close to 3, but they gave him a 2er.
Yeah, one of his feet just over that line, but it was awfully close.
6-2, East out in front. It all comes down to the final game of the season. Whoever worked out this schedule really had it worked out well.
You know, this was one of those things. That, by the way, is going to be a foul on Jason Raleigh. This was one of those things where at the beginning of the year, when you kind of looked at the schedule, you thought, maybe this thing we should circle and kind of keep that night open, huh?
Raleigh's first foul. It's 3 fouls against Preble, 1 against the East Red Devils in this first period. Mellington, yes. Nice soft shot by Dave Mellington. He's a sophomore, so he's a product they'll be looking for next couple of years. Roney, in and out, bounce around, finally picked up by the Red Devils. Got Ben Kolstad, number 14 in the lineup. A 3-pointer.
Oh, that's a big shot. See, that's Ohm. About Ohm with his defense. You've mentioned about how Ohm feeds. If Ohm scores tonight, the Hornets could be in trouble. When Ohm scores, he can really be a factor in putting some points on the board for the Red Devils.
That's one of the assets for Kevin Ohm. He'll either dish it off, pass it out, inside, outside, and he has the potential of shooting. And he's averaging 16 points a game, so it's not that he's getting the bunnies on the inside. A lot of them are from the outside.
Exactly.
And of course, he was an all-state player last year, so he's got potential going on to UWGB. One of the great basketball players in the conference this year.
Yeah, GB will be kind of fun. You know, you always like to see some local blood in there with Borowitz and Ohm.
You've got a nice player in Ryan Borowitz, good shooter, good defensive player. So you've got both assets for both of these these players, especially Kevin Ohm. He's got great feeding ability, great passing ability.
This is an interesting point in the game. There's 3:09 left in the first quarter, so it's still really early, but 11-2, and Preble can't let the thing get out of hand.
Well, I'm sure that coach, Keith Wall, is he'll talk his boys into something. Pass back out to Van Rossum. Roney runs the baseline. He puts it up in 2.
Keep in mind that Green Bay East has not won a conference championship since 1969. Since then, Preble has won 4 of them.
Traveling violation on Mellington. That perhaps puts a little added pressure onto the East Red Devils. We haven't won it. We've got to do it. Let's go. It's a little more tension.
Kids are aware of history. There's no question about it.
11-4.
That would also make for a greater celebration should they win.
Oh, yes, indeed, especially on their home court. 2:14 on the first period clock. Pass underneath, intercepted, almost intercepted by Lemeron. Got the big hand out there. Corey Horachov. Two-pointer for Horachov makes it 13-4.
The reason this is critical that Preble stays close is it's awfully tough to come back from way far back against a defense like East throws at you. They play nothing but man-to-man, but watch the movement. Watch the communication, the talking. It's just brilliant defense to watch.
Almost a steal by McGee. Roney over to the right side to Van Rossum. A 3, yes! Kevin Van Rossum puts in 3.
I don't know that he gave him 3. Did he give him 3?
Yes, he did.
He did not. He gave him a 2.
No, he gave him a 3. It was, oh, yeah, now they changed it to 2.
He gave him a 2, sure.
Okay.
The referee gave him a 2.
They had the 3 up there, and then they changed it.
I was watching the referee, though, and he made the 2 signal. So
Kevin Ohm drives for 2, and he has 5 for the night. And it's 15-6 with 55 remaining in the first period. Kolstad almost intercepted, but he didn't touch it. It goes off the hand of Van Rossum, and he still take over.
I love that Kolstad's hands, his quickness. He's an athlete.
when you consider him being a quarterback.
He's a quarterback in football. He's a sophomore. So, you're looking down the road at East. You got McGee, a junior. He'll be back next year. Mellonton, a sophomore. Kolstad will be there, a sophomore. Decent nucleus.
McGee is probably going to be the big, well, McGee and Mellonton will probably be the two big guns next year. Kolstad at probably Harkle Road, maybe in the guard position.
And I've always kind of liked that Casey Kaminsky, too. I haven't really followed Casey that much this year, but I really loved him as a grade school player. They're going for the last shot down to 20 seconds left in the first quarter now.
Kevin Ohm watching the referee as he counts off the time. That's the playing ability of this young fella. Nice pass to Kolstad, up in the air, no good. Kolstad gets the rebound.
See what that trajectory did with
back to Ohm. No good. Time runs out. That's not going to count. They couldn't make that last few seconds count, and at the end of the first period, Green Bay East 15, Preble 6. We'll take time out on Cablevision, your community sports connection, back after this.
Each week, Pay-Per-View brings you the movies you want to see at the times you want to see them. Here's what's playing this week on Pay-Per-View. Look for Bette Midler in the bewitching comedy Hocus Pocus. Tuesday, March 1st. It's the premiere of the romantic comedy Sleepless in Seattle. On Thursday, March 3rd, catch the final showing of Charlie Sheen in Hot Shots Part 2 and Robin Hood, Men in Tights. And on Friday, March 4th, watch for the premiere of the urban drama Poetic Justice. Check your listings for showtimes.
My hero? Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
We have one period under our belt. Final at the end of the first period, 15-6, East out in front of Preble. The second 8 minutes of this half. Kolstad back out to McGee. McGee shot, yes, a three.
5 points for Pete McGee tonight.
18-6, 12-point edge. Roney into the paint, tries to put it around, a little hook shot, no good. Rebound picked up by Ohm. Horichov, pardon me. Pass was partially blocked, right into the hands of Preble. Tries to drive it down. That was Voskill going down for the shot and the foul.
Foul going to be on Pete McGee. His first.
That's only the second foul against East. Three against Preble.
Roney having a problem of some kind.
He looks like he may have some bleeding. Very possible he has a scratch somewhere. Of course, if he has, he'll have to stop that, put a Band-Aid on it, put some kind of a covering on it. He won't be able to get back into the lineup as long as there's blood. You don't want to keep Roney out too long, but they'll patch him up as soon as possible. Voskill.
Holtz back in the lineup.
Raleigh into the center, into the paint, drives the paint, puts it up, no good. Rebound, fought for, and now the foul is called.
If that's Van Ryzen, that will be his second.
Both teams coming into the conference tonight with the 11-2 record. Van Ryzen picks up his second foul. Raleigh goes to the free throw line for two.
If you get into statistics, these are two awfully good defenses, though. You've got, as we mentioned, Green Bay East giving up 43.8 points a game. Preble giving up 48.8. Offensively, East will score an average of 56.3, Preble 57.6.
So they're pretty close. And of course, the last time these two teams played, Preble did beat East. The score was 57-49, but that was back in January. But since then, Coach Kessley said East has had some great practice games, or practice weeks rather, about 4 of them. Bad throw, but a save by Ohm, right into the hands of Roney, who's back into the lineup. There's the old alley-oop. Nice feed from Roney to Lemeron.
But, you know, it took Lemeron well into the second quarter to get his first 2 points of the evening.
McGee short, picked up by Holtz.
You talk about it so often, though, but anyone that thought this was going to be a blowout with that big East lead, though, you've got to be patient here, and momentum certainly changes. Here's one of the rolls. Now East's going to have to get through and stop the bleeding a little bit.
Well, that's what Keith Wall does. He has a lot of patience, and he just waits for the opportune moment. Whoa! Nobody to throw it to and turn it over.
Well, he traveled. There's no question he moved both of his feet.
18-10 East over Preble. 6:07 remains in the half. Kevin Ohm being two-team. Ohm will drive in. Pass it back out to Kolstad. Fakes, pumps it up. No good.
See,
Rebound.
Lemeron again. Lemeron underneath. What an imposing factor he is on defense.
Raleigh, no. Tip up, no. Lemeron tried to tip it in, couldn't.
Layups are not easy when you got someone 6'6" in your face.
Kolstad underneath. Mellington.
That time they forced Lemeron away from the basket. Mellington didn't have him looking at his face. That's a much easier two.
20-10, double score. Roney. Raleigh. Holtz. Drive into the paint. Pass back out to Lemeron. Fakes once. Back it out to Van Rossum. 3. Yes! That time we'll give him the 3. Raleigh with 5, or rather Van Rossum with 5 points. 20-13. McGee into the corner. Horochov. Yes, he's got 2. Corey Horochov likes that left corner. He'll just sit there, and if you feed him, he'll pop it in. Horochov averaging 11, 8, 12 points a game. 22-13.
Horochov number 8 in the conference in scoring, in fact. We had mentioned Roney 2. Ohm is 4. Raleigh 6. Lemeron 7. So 5 of the top 8 scorers in the conference are on Cablevision this evening.
The foul is on Dave Mellington, his first, who was on the freshman squad last year, brought him up, and he's the sophomore, so he's got a couple of big years left ahead of him. Roney, 5 points for the night. He just makes things look so easy. In fact, a little too easy.
Well, for him, they are.
22-15. 7-point spread. It was up to 12 at one time. There's that big hand of Lemeron. Deflects the pass. It goes out of bounds. They're going to give it to... Oh, they're going to call a foul.
Kolstad, huh?
Kolstad gets his first, and that's foul number 5 against the Red Devils. Preble with 3 team fouls. 7 fouls, they go into the bonus. Roney across the court to Van Rossum. Drives into the paint, back out to Roney. Roney tries 2, no good. Rebound, Horochov. Oh, take it back, Kevin Ohm.
Keith Wall seen kind of shaking his head there.
puts in 2.
You know, that's where Olm really is an athlete. You see him go to the basket. He kind of pulls up and still keeps his balance and puts a nice, soft shooter's touch on that ball. That's why he's a player.
Great hands. Lemeron shot. He'll get 2 at the free throw line.
Imagine Wayne Olm, Kevin's father. You know what he does for a living? He teaches at Green Bay Preble. He's got a son playing for Green Bay East. Tell me he didn't get some razzing this morning, huh?
Well, just like Colette Kolstad, who's the AD over at Preble.
Sure, Colette has a brother that coaches football at West, and then here at East, and then a nephew that's out here playing. Exactly.
Went up to the concession stand before the game started. Lemeron makes both of those free throws. Colette walked up, and John Kolstad, the football coach, was helping serve up the popcorn. She said, "Can I have some popcorn?" He says, "It all depends who you root for."
Good start.
She is a sports nut, I'll tell you that. Of course, that carryover from her father, Chick. Intercepted by McGee. That's the defense and a great passing.
Great passing. Foul on Lemeron. That would be his second.
Corey Horachov's pass underneath the basket to Van Ryzen. Van Ryzen goes to the free throw line.
We're watching two pretty good basketball teams, though, Don.
And as you said earlier, it's too bad that they're going to be somehow, 2 of these teams are going to be eliminated in the first 2 games of the WIAA tournament.
That's a shame. You're looking at these 2 teams, and then you throw Pulaski into that, and you've got. I got that for Van Ryzen's first point of the evening.
That's right. 25-16, the 9-point spread now. It was 12 earlier in the game. 2:28 remaining. Back out to Van Rossum. Raleigh. One thing about Preble, the 2 guards are not that big. 5'8". They're small. Shot from the corner by Roney. No good. Rebound. East. And Mellenthin gets his feet tangled in with one of the Preble players. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be turned over.
Really, at this point, East would do itself more of a favor, I think, just by being real patient here. Not saying take the ear out of the ball, but just simply be practical and patient. Although Olm must have seen something that we didn't see from up here. He must have seen an opening, and then Mellenthin got tripped up.
Underneath. Vanderkellen. Get back into the corner to Horachov. No good. Rebound, Raleigh. Voskuil. No good. Rebound. That's taken by East. As they go down to the court, it's Voskuil and Horachov.
Horachov really quick thinking on that board. Felt himself starting to lose his balance and would be called for traveling. Instead, gave the ball up to a teammate.
Kevin Olm, really the quarterback of this team out there, as he indicates where to pass to, really. Shot by McGee, no good. 25-16, 9-point spread. Raleigh shot, no good, a foul. Charge to Kevin Olm.
I think that's a 3,
that's
too,
a
isn't it?
three-pointer, correct. And it's the 7th team foul for Green Bay East with only 48 seconds left, but you never know. You got 48 seconds. There may be time for more bonus shots. Raleigh will go to the line. It's a three-pointer. Raleigh averages close to 14 points a game.
I was going to say that was Holmes' first foul.
That's correct. Raleigh has made 2 free throws so far. That's 3.
All his points so far in free throws.
They don't add up at fast, but they do add up.
Sure do. When you get 3 at a crack, they do.
That's like getting a chance to shoot a 3-pointer from outside with nobody bothering him.
Whoop, he was over the line.
Oh,
can you imagine?
You've got to be kidding. So Raleigh gets 2. He's got 4 points for the night. It's now down to 39 seconds. 25-18.
Funny that he would, and funny and unfortunate that he would step over the line because everything looks so clean and so pure.
McGee. 2-team out to Ohm. Double the ball is what they're doing. Intercepted by Raleigh. Alone. Blocked by Ohm.
See the long arms on Ohm? That's why he's headed to UWGB. Defensive plays like that, but you give credit to Raleigh that he picked someone's pocket there. He was just kind of like a cornerback in football, just making a decoy like, I can't get there, and suddenly he was right there to intercept it.
He's only 5'8". Raleigh at 3, no. Goes down again, no foul called. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Ohm can't get the ball away. He lost the handle. Call for traveling. The ball goes out and time runs out. Nice hand from the fans here at Green Bay. It's 25-18. So in the exchange of points, Preble has picked up 2 from what they had in the first period. They trailed by 9. Now they trail by 7.
And frankly, that's not quite as many as I thought they might pick up, because I thought there was a surge earlier on in the second quarter where you could feel the momentum going the Hornet way. And only to pick up 2 is really, East is where they want to be. You know, when you play defense the way East plays defense, the bigger the lead, the tougher it's going to be to come back.
Correct. Well, we have timeout here as we look at the cheerleaders doing their pyramid. 25-18, the East Red Devils are out in front of Preble. We'll take timeout on Cablevision, your community sports connection.
Ordering is easy and fast with Viewer's Choice Pay-Per-View. Using your touch-tone phone, just call this number and follow the simple instructions you are given. If you have a dial phone or need assistance, call this number during ordering hours, and an operator will help you. When it's time to watch, just tune to Viewer's Choice and enjoy the show. It's that easy. Now, look what you can see this week on Viewer's Choice Pay-Per-View.
Ah, that's my nephew Scruff reading that comic book.
Improving my mind.
Give me your magic zapper and I'll improve your mind.
Hey, that's me!
Look inside. It's about the adventures you have coming home from school.
Uh-oh.
It gives tips on what to do about bullies, finding drugs, or trouble on the bus. And it shows what happens to Scruff.
What happens? What happens?
You'll see. For your free copy, write McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652, and help me take a bite out of crime.
What happens? What happens?
There you're looking at the Green Bay East Red Devilettes, I guess you could call them, as they prepare to come out and do their routine here at halftime at the basketball game between Green Bay East and Preble. Let's watch the girls as they get into their routine. interesting routine by the Green Bay East Red Devils as they have come up with a new innovation, which one we haven't seen.
Kind of a medley of music for all ages, huh?
It certainly is. Start out with the Snow White theme, the Seven Dwarfs, and away you go. Well, we've got halftime. By the way, speaking of halftime, we want to thank everybody for being part of our program for this past year. If you have any comments on the games, of course, we'd like to hear from you. Just contact Cablevision. If you like the games, if you don't like the games, we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Just send them to Cablevision on West Mesa, Green Bay, Wisconsin. We'd like to get some input from you. Our schedule, of course, is dictated by our viewing audience, those that are involved in Cablevision. And unfortunately, we can't do all the games from other schools, but we certainly try to do the ones that are in our community. 25-18, the score at halftime as you listen to the band. We'll be back with more on Cablevision, your community sports connection, after this timeout.
So, whose influence are you under?
Half of this basketball game as Preble on the attack, and Brad Roney puts it in quickly for two. Roney now with 8 points, cuts it to 25 to 20, but there's another two, and that's by Kurt Van Ryzen. Once again, we're back at 7, 27 to 20. Green Bay East, Green Bay Preble.
Scoring to date, Kevin Van Rossum for Preble with 5, Jason Raleigh with 4, Adam Lemerand has 4, and Roney, as you saw, picked up those 2 quick ones here for 8. For the Red Devils, Kevin Ohm at halftime with 7, Pete McGee has 5, Horachov with 6, Dave Mellenthin with 6, and now Van Ryzen has 3.
Preble on the attack with Roney into the corner, being guarded by McGee, gets into the paint, tries to put it up. A foul call, and that should be on McGee.
Kind of really keep an eye on what Preble's doing this half. They stayed in the locker room until about a minute and a half left before the intermission expired. It sounds to me, or looked to me, that perhaps Keith Wall was doing some heavy-duty revamping.
I'm sure that Keith, he has won 4 championships since 1969. He always seems to have a team that's up there in the top of the bracket, so he's got to have something that he has told the boys to do. And Roney now getting 4 points this half so far, has the first one in double figures.
It might be that one of the things he said was, I want that ball in Roney's hands, and Roney, I want points out of you.
It's 27-22, 5-point margin. East out in front, McGee, Horachov. Horachov is guarded by Van Rossum. Kevin Van Rossum is only 5'8", and Horachov 6'4". That's kind of quite a matchup. But Van Rossum gets in there and steals the pass.
Preble seemingly playing a man-to-man and sliding Lemerand. We're going to get help with Lemerand in the middle.
There's another steal. This time it's by McGee, and they're called traveling.
This is a big possession for Preble. Cut the lead down to 3. That's closer than they've been in a long, long time. It's early in the game.
Well, there's a lot of time left. There's a whole period plus 6. Well, that was Roney trying to get into the...
No question, that's their game plan, though. They want Roney going to the basket. They want Roney. He's been their leading scorer.
2 for Ohm. Kevin fell down on the floor, looked at the referee as if to say, was that 3? He said 2.
I kind of thought that was 3 myself.
He must have been on the line. Shot by Lemeron, no good. Boy, those tall, long arms got up there and stole that pass from in between a couple of Red Devils, but couldn't get it into the hole.
East has played Lemeron tough. Lemeron with only 4 points so far. Remember, he averages just over 13.
5:29 remains in the third period. Roney with the ball. Drives to the base. Passes back out to Lemeron. Into the corner. Voskil, no good. Rebound, Voskil. And a foul charge to Melanson.
That's his second.
And now it's 2 team fouls for Green Bay East in this half. None for Preble at this point. The margin still 7 for East. 29-22. Raleigh into the paint. No. Kick it back out to Roney. Roney jumps. Yes.
12 points for Roney. 6 already in the third quarter.
Cuts the lead to 5. 29-24. East out in front of Preble. And this is for all of the marbles tonight. First place in the conference.
And Don, how good it is, frankly, to see 2 teams from Green Bay in this position. Last game of the year playing for all the marbles, as you put it.
Rather than having a Sheboygan North or
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is great. It comes down to the final game of the year. It's really climactic. Underhand shot, no good. Rebound now as the East Red Devils bring it down. Kevin Ohm, watch this move. He drives in. He causes a foul. And Ohm will go to the free throw line. No, I'm going to say it was before he got to the shot. The foul is on Raleigh. His second.
Wouldn't surprise me if Kesley wouldn't want to see Ohm penetrating a little bit more. Not to say that you want to have Lemeron in your face, but with the way Kevin can dish off, Lemeron attacks him, you're going to have someone open for a bunny underneath.
Ohm into the paint, puts it up. Kicked away, and it's picked up nicely by Van Ryzen, who puts it in for 2, and he has 5.
There, right there is just what we talked about, not necessarily a bunny underneath, but when Ohm penetrates, things can happen.
Roney called traveling. I don't think Keith Wall liked that one very well.
No, I know he didn't. No thinking involved in that one. That's a flat-out no.
I think he had a few words to say to Roney as he walked past. .335 into the third period. Kevin Ohm, no basket, traveling. Well, he's, as you said, he's starting to drive into the paint area, but he's got to get the ball up there before he takes that extra step.
Well, it's a jungle in there. You know, that's no easy task, driving against the likes of Lemeron and Raleigh and Roney.
Van Rossum comes out, and Holtz goes back in for Preble. Holtz. Voskil into the corner to Roney. Kicked away by Kevin Ohm.
Oh! I'm telling you what would have happened there. Ohm would have taken the Raptors down with a slam dunk.
I'm sure he would have. Pete McGee got it over the head of Roney, and he just couldn't catch up to it. Now, Ohm pushed that ball away from Roney right into the hands, and he knew he was going down court for it.
You know, honestly, those are the kinds of things are big plays, because now the lead still stays at 7. You bring it to 9 with the roof coming down because of the slam dunk. That does something to a crowd.
Oh, yes.
It creates all kinds of electricity. That was a big throwaway.
Lemeron tries to put it up, and it goes out of bounds. They're calling no foul. A block by Melanson.
Look at Keith Wall. It's a great shot. Father and son there. His son, Jim Wall, next to him. Keith's been a great coach over the years, and I'll tell you, he's intense. He's a great storyteller. He's a funny guy to be around. He's a great person to be around telling stories. When they tee it up, he's Mr. Basketball, believe me.
25 years in this game, at least here at Preble. The shot no good. Adam Lemeron tips it in. Lemeron's first 2 points of the half. He only has 6 for the night. But those are 2 big ones. He makes the score down to 5 again, 31-26. They called a foul.
Well, I don't think there was a foul, but
Steve Kessley is trying to find out what's happening here as Keith Wall walks back to the...
Evidently, there was something away from the ball, huh?
Evidently, Horachov got called with a foul. They're giving Horachov the foul, and he goes to the free throw line.
What a swing this is. What a swing.
4-pointer. Whoa, bounce it around and goes in.
With the exception of that one time where Jason stepped over the free throw line, he's been flawless. 6 out of 6 except for the one.
Now, was that a technical foul?
Well, they're showing on the scoreboard. I had, frankly, to be honest with you, I was marking in the book the score, so I had my head down and didn't see what the call was. That would appear to have to be a technical shooting, too, because it'd be away from the ball, unless it was an intentional foul. We may have missed something away from the ball, an intentional foul, because they do have on the board the foul 44, his first. And, of course, that would be, as you pointed out, Horachov with his first foul. They wouldn't put a technical foul up on that board.
They're going to take the ball out at half court.
Now, then my guess is that this was a flagrant foul.
And if it was, the ball goes to Green Bay Preble.
Be a big swing, essentially a 6-point play.
It's 31-28.
You know, this is really, here's one of those other pivotal times of the game. Now, when you have 2 good teams, you're going to see a number of these things. But what you look for are goals. Now, this is the closest Preble's been since the opening minutes of the game. The lead's down to 3. They score here, and it's down to 1. Wow.
Van Rossum, with his 3-point shooting, he could make it down to even. Well, he drives the base, and he gets 2. Kevin Van Rossum cuts the lead to 1, 31-30. Horachov, nice block by Lemeron.
Just remember that play we talked about where McGee had Ohm wide open that would have made it a 9-point game. I'm telling you, that's going to end up being a big play. It's got a chance to be.
Preble turns it over. Palm in the ball. Mellenthin comes in. Horachov goes out. 31-30. Preble leads, or rather East leads Preble by 1 with 2 minutes remaining in the third. Kevin Ohm drives toward the base, comes back out into the corner. McGee over to Kolstad. Kolstad guarded by Van Rossum. Mellenthin. McGee. Ohm with a 3-pointer, no good. Rebound by Lemeron for Preble. And now Preble has the opportunity to take the lead.
Look at Ohm!
Kevin Ohm.
Oh, boy! Well, that's a flagrant foul if I've ever seen one. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's Ohm hurt. You know, you do what you got to do to get a foul, but when you have nowhere to go except right into the wall, that won't be well received here. I don't think Raleigh was trying to be dirty, honestly. In Raleigh's defense, I don't think he was trying to be dirty, but he's got what he's got coming to him right here, because that was pretty clearly what happened.
Kevin Owen goes to the line, makes the first. Makes both free throws. They'll take it out of bounds.
My point, Don, I think if he does something like that at the arena or someplace where you've got enough room underneath the basket, it's not so serious. But, you know, you do that here and you're running right into the wall flat out. That's a dangerous deal. But I don't think he said to himself, I'm going to maim the kid. I don't think he meant that. I really don't.
Home into the corner. McGee. In fact, Keith Wall took Raleigh out of the lineup.
That's the way to do it. Let him settle down. Keith knows what he's doing. Emotion. Plus Raleigh's got 3 fouls. We got to address that. Under a minute left in the third quarter. Raleigh, a person who he needs going down the wire in the fourth quarter. Now him getting a fourth.
There's a foul on Chris Voskuhl. That'll be his second foul of the night. And each team now with 3 fouls and 50 seconds remaining in the third. 33-30. East out in front. Traveling. Van Ryzen caught moving around, and he gives the ball over to Preble.
This would be a chance now. If East gets the ball back, I'd go right at Lemeron. Because he's sitting there with 2 fouls. And Raleigh's out of the game, so you ought to be able to penetrate.
Oh! Van Ryzen got up high, tipped it, hit the boards. Almost went out of bounds, but it's a save for East. 18 seconds in the game, in the third period, rather. Kolstad back out to Kevin Ohm, down at 8. Van Rossum will get charged with the foul. That'll be Kevin Van Rossum's first foul with 6 seconds remaining. 4 fouls for Preble, 3 for East on the team's fouls. Down to 2. Shot no good. Rebound, and that's no good. And that's the end of the third. And now the lead is down to 3.
Chance to be a great finish.
33-30. And the Preble Hornets have picked up the 4 points on East in that third period. So we've got the makings of a final strong 8 minutes coming up. We'll take time out on Cablevision, your community sports connection, with the score Preble 30, East 33.
There's a new teacher in our community. One that opens worlds of thought and makes complex topics clear. This teacher is a television, a learning tool that helps real teachers bring an added dimension to education. Funded here by Cablevision. Cable in the classroom, the power of television plugged into the power of the mind.
Each week, Pay-Per-View brings you the movies you want to see at the times you want to see them. Here's what's playing this week on Pay-Per-View. Look for Bette Midler in the bewitching comedy Hocus Pocus, Tuesday, March 1st. It's the premiere of the romantic comedy Sleepless in Seattle. On Thursday, March 3rd, catch the final showing of Charlie Sheen in Hot Shots Part 2 and Robin Hood, Men in Tights. And on Friday, March 4th, watch for the premiere of the urban drama Poetic Justice. Check your listings for showtimes.
Coming up to the final 8 minutes, 3-point edge for the Green Bay East Red Devils over the Preble Hornets. And this is for the first place title in the Fox River Valley Conference.
Hard to get a real handle as to reading momentum on this thing. East, to my recollection, has never been behind. Never been behind. But now the lead is but 3.
Rebound picked up nicely by McGee. You're correct. It was down to 1, and then they picked up those 2 points to make it 3.
Really patient right now.
Kevin Ohm drives the base, pops it up, around the rim, no good. Another tip up, no good, and the rebound picked up by Holtz for Preble. Raleigh back into the lineup. Van Rossum.
Those layups have not been like those 6 or 7 inch putts, have they? They're not gimmies tonight.
There's the three-pointer. Yes, and it's tied. Jason Raleigh with a 3.
9 points for Raleigh.
Now it's 33-33. Now a lot of the crowd getting up onto their feet as they watch this game. Mellenton shot, no good. Rebound, yes, tipping by McGee.
Basket, they had to stop the bleeding there.
McGee with 7. Holtz into the paint, baseline, free throw line, block. And I'm afraid we're going to have to get up on our feet too, Michael.
I'm ready.
Roney gets 2.
14 points now for Brad Roney.
35-35 with 5:57 remaining. McGee drives to the left. Left-handed layup, he's got 2.
That foul might be on Lemeron.
The foul called, and it's Adam Lemeron getting number 3. At the free throw line, Pete McGee.
You know, that's a big deal in picking up a 3rd foul here. Yes, there's only 5:50 left to play, but it changes what you can do, especially if it forces him to get a 4th. Then it really kind of takes the strength of his game away from him.
You can probably expect Kevin Ohm to drive towards Lemeron in the last 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
Raleigh speed to Roney. Roney turnaround jumper. Yes. Roney with 16, and it's back to 37. Seesaw now. Preble has tied it, but they have not led in this game. East has led all the way. Now it's just tied.
2 great basketball teams. They're
McGee.
well skilled and they're well coached.
Pete McGee with 11. East takes a 2-point advantage. Raleigh looking for help. Voskuhl over to Roney. Roney drives into the base, pops it up. Yes, it's good. No foul. Roney with 18 makes it 39 all.
Interesting no call there.
Mellenton.
That could be Raleigh's 4th foul, isn't it?
I believe it's on Raleigh.
That'll be Raleigh's 4th.
Mellenton.
Sure enough.
So Raleigh now with 4. Lemeron with 3. And how easy Kevin Ohm makes it look, huh?
Well, with Lemeron in his face, that wasn't that easy, believe me.
Roney, turnaround jumper, in and out, no good, rebound. Kicked away by Roney. Out of bounds.
Preble wants a timeout.
I believe that Roney may have gotten the foul. Yes. Roney got charged with the foul as they fought for the ball going out of bounds. And for Roney, that's his first.
See, I thought it was his first, too. The scoreboard has it his second. We got to go with that.
I got to go with that, I guess. I don't know where he got the other one, but You didn't have it.
No, I didn't have it either. But that's not unusual. They never make me an official scorer at anything.
Right. Sometimes you get all wrapped up in what's going on, forget to mark those little numbers down. It's 41-39. East is leading by 2. We have 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. Foul problem. There are 7 fouls against Preble. 3 fouls against East. That means that East will go to the bonus line every time that Preble throws a foul. Foul trouble. Jason Raleigh with 4. Adam Lemeron with 3. Brad Roney with 2, and Chris Voskuhl has 2.
That's why, as I would read this thing right now, that's a big advantage going to East because that helps Kevin Ohm. That takes Raleigh away from him. Raleigh's got to watch what he does to Ohm, right? Plus, it allows Ohm to go right to the basket and really challenge Lemeron.
Every time that he goes in and gets fouled, it's a bonus shot, whether he shoots or not.
Absolutely.
Mellonson at the line.
So we're going to see this place really rocking here with 4:12 left.
Mellonson with 7.
His first point in the second half.
Stretches the lead to 3. Rebound picked up by Roney. Raleigh on the left side. Screened out by Voskuhl. Back to Raleigh again, right off the arms of Voskuhl. Voskuhl was throwing a pick at him. There's the feed to Lemeron. Goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it's Preble.
East really doing a good job doubling Lemeron underneath the basket. Lemeron was the one that really hurt him in the last game.
Well, you've got Ohm and Mellonson underneath there.
Whoop.
Whoa, that's going to be one on Mellonson.
That's a pretty obvious one. That'll be his third.
That's the 4th team foul for East. So bonus-wise, they're not really in a problem at this point. However, Preble is. 42-39. Roney. Lemeron. Underneath to Lemeron. Fakes once, pops it up. No. Rebound. Goes out of bounds, and it's off of Lemeron's foot.
That was a good call by the official. The official was right there. He made the right call. .20 on the clock.
Now East will be a little bit patient.
Playing his zone, Preble is.
East will make him come out for him. You want to take the ball? Foul me because we have the bonus coming. Mellonson, no good. Rebound, Roney. Roney 1-on-2. Moves the ball to Kevin Ohm.
The kid really plays defense, though. He's got wonderful hands, quickness. Look at the pass. Foul.
Horachov goes down, and the foul charge to Roney. Great speed by Kevin Ohm. He's got a rifle of an arm.
It's a great pass, no question about it.
Horachov missed.
In fact, Corey only with 6 points. Corey has not scored yet in the second half. There he
has now. (43-39). East out in front by 4. Raleigh, a 3.
12 points for Raleigh. The lead is now cut to 1. He's out of bounds.
Out of bounds, and it'll be turned over. Kolstad couldn't keep it in.
What a finish this is going to be, Don.
And Preble has not led at any time in this game. They have the opportunity to do it now as Raleigh calls timeout. 2 minutes, 11 remaining in the game, and it's all up for grabs with just 2 minutes left. 1 point margin as East leads Preble 43-42. We'll take timeout on Cablevision, your community sports connection.
Janine woke up in a cold sweat with one thing echoing through her brain. Who was this guy in her bathroom?
Meanwhile, Barry was thinking, whose bathroom am I in?
Janine remembered going to the party the night before and getting smashed out of her mind.
Barry remembered getting drunk and acting really stupid.
Eventually.
The whole evening came back.
Oh, I must be really stupid.
I must be really dumb.
What did I do? How did I get myself into this?
Well, what did I do? How did I get myself into this?
What about...
What about...
What about AIDS? Then they both realized, much to their relief, that unlike the rest of us...
They were just cartoons.
Get high.
Get stupid.
Get AIDS.
(43-42). East with a 1 point advantage. 2 minutes, 11 seconds on the clock.
You know, Don, the longer Preble stays close, the better I like their chances. How many times have you seen a game where a team has never led and then they suddenly go ahead either right at the wire or very close to the wire and end up winning the game? Plus, the longer the game is extended, the less the foul troubles become.
Roney a three. Yes, he's got a three. Preble has taken the lead, 45-43, the first time of the night.
He is now tied for the conference lead in scoring with 21 points.
Horachov, he's got three.
Crunch time, and the good ones become great. That counts as a 2.
Correct. I thought he was outside of the three-pointer, but he was not. It's all knotted up at 45. Voskuhl puts the shot away. He gets the rebound, and a jump ball is going to be called. Possession will go to Preble.
Minute 10 done. I think Preble was kind of looking for a call there, maybe a foul on Ohm. Referee had a real good position to call that one a tie up.
Rebound, no. It goes to East. Mellison got the rebound. We're down to 1 minute.
Now, at what point do you look for the last shot? It's a long time to run off a minute.
Kolstad to Ohm. Kevin looks at the clock, down to 45. If they want it, they have to go after it. Kevin calls timeout with 39 seconds remaining in the game.
I look for them to really, really try for the last shot now. They were run it down from just over a minute, or I guess it was under about 58 seconds, I think, when they took over possession. It's down to 39 now. You'd want the ball in the hands of Ohm, but they're playing kind of a zone that comes out and gets the ball. They're doubling the ball.
Well, I think Preble's got to come back out and foul.
Do you?
He's got to go after the ball.
I would guess that they won't. So we'll just kind of be each other's devil's advocate, if you will. My guess is that Preble's going to go out and play tough defense, try for the steal. That would be my guess. They don't have a lot of people can give fouls right now. You know, I understand you can get your fourth now and hope it doesn't go into overtime, but they don't want Roney to get that fourth if they don't have to. They certainly don't want Limeron, and they can't afford to have Raleigh get his fifth.
Well, they've got Voskuhl and Van Rossum. Voskuhl has 2, Van Rossum 1, so I would anticipate that Van Rossum Rossum will be the one who will chase the ball and perhaps try to attack it.
If you put the right person at the free throw line, and really in this game, East has not done a good job from the charity stripe, a real good job from the free throw line.
Well, you give them the opportunity to possibly make two, but you also have the possibility of coming back with a three.
They've got Raleigh now on Ohm. They're playing a man-to-man, huh?
25 seconds.
Playing a man-to-man defense.
Kevin Ohm, as long as he keeps the ball, he's the one who's the ball handler.
They may take it down to about 10 and call another timeout.
15.
No. There it is!
Pete McGee, timeout.
That was a pass by Ohm to McGee. And I'm telling you, that is why Ohm is going Division I. Can he see the court? What a pass!
Actually, they called timeout. I watched the clock, and it looked like 2 seconds went off the clock. I don't know if that's going to be put back on or not, but it looked like it's seconds remaining when they called it.
The clock now clearly showing 7. So in your opinion, you saw the timeout signal at 9.
I saw the timeout signal. I thought it was 9 seconds, and I thought they wheeled it down to 7 before they actually got it called.
Well, we talk about the makings of a great finish, and this little pup is not done yet. 7 seconds. It's a 2-point lead for East. The Preble with the ball, a chance to tie or win. You know, there's a concept in sports. Sometimes you play to tie at home and win on the road, and one wonders if they won't try to do that here, especially given their foul trouble. They may not want to play another 3 minutes. They may want to try Jason Raleigh with a trade.
Or Van Rossum.
Or Van Rossum, although I don't know they put that pressure on a sophomore.
Well, he's been 5 seconds and a foul called.
He had one to give. Why not? They may do that again. Frankly, they may do that again. You're down to 4 seconds. Watch them give another foul.
Kevin Holm took the foul. He only has 2.
Be smart basketball.
Roney.
There's a 3!
That's a buzzer!
It's a 3!
Preble wins it! An overhand hook shot! Oh, look at Keith Wall. It's just going to bananas. Can't believe it. Kesley can't believe it.
They were playing superb defense in his face. You talk about desperation shots. It was a desperation shot. Nothing but net.
Kevin Roney comes up with 24 points for the night.
Brad Roney.
Brad Roney.
That would put him in first place for conference scoring. We don't know what Herbert from South, who was chasing him. We don't know how Herbert from South did tonight. But without him, he wins the conference scoring title on a dramatic, off-balance, desperation hook shot to crown the Preble Hornets for their 5th conference title since 1969.
Final score, 48-47.
If we could get a shot now of the East bench. Here they are. They haven't won a conference title in since 1969. The coaches are sitting there in utter disbelief. They had the game won, they thought, with 7 seconds. Ohm made a great pass to McGee. Only now are the coaches starting to get up. They were just sitting there saying, let's recap this thing.
Well, I guess you wonder what actually happened.
Well, you know, in hindsight, and I'm sure Coach Kesley, as great a coach as he is, he's going to probably say to himself, I had another foul to give. I maybe could have given it, which he could have done. You know, it's because he could have taken a foul with a second or two, and they have no shot at all. This is all hindsight. This is all second guessing, but this is what coaches do after a game. You know, it's part of the fun of the thing.
Well, they had Roney really bottled up.
Oh, they did.
There was
Absolutely.
no question about it.
Absolutely.
It was just a case that an overhand hook shot that off balance, whatever, and it never touched the rim.
Well, the toughest job that Steve Kesley has for himself now is, okay, this thing is done. But in just a couple of nights, they've got to reload. He's got to go play against his father, Pulaski. So that's going to be now what you've got to do. You got to somehow tell the kids, hey, look, the Stars just didn't look upon us tonight. They played a heck of a game. They really played a wonderful game, essentially never behind. And just for a second or two late in the fourth quarter. And my gosh, how did this end? Woo!
48-47. Final score of this basketball game. Preble wins the conference title, the fifth one in the last, 69, since 1969. East still winless since 1969.
Well, and you really, you look at the thing with two minds. Honestly, your heart has to spill out to the Red Devils. It really does. I mean, they played a tremendous game. They had a tremendous season. They made the great play, the big pressure play with 7 seconds left. They were playing great defense. I mean, everything was there to say, crown the Red Devils. You have to feel sorry for them. I mean, my goodness, you've got to feel sorry for them. And you've also congratulate them at the same time. I mean, it's still a spectacular year. With the Preble Hornets, what else can you say? I mean, they were down by 9 at the end of the first quarter, and they kept chipping away. It was down to 7 at halftime, down to 3 at the end of the third quarter. They finally took a lead very briefly late in the fourth quarter. That was the only time they had the lead. Then East came back, got the lead, and at the buzzer, Roney does his thing, and there you got it.
The scoring for the night. Brad Roney, 24 points, 18 in the second half, and the miraculous three-pointer at the buzzer. 12, Jason Raleigh. 7, Kevin Van Rossum with 1 three-pointer. 6 points for Adam Lemeron, only 2 in the second half. That is the 48 points for the Preble Hornets. For Green Bay East, 13 for Kevin Olm, 13 for Pete McGee. 7 for Corey Horochov, 7 for Dave Malenton, Kurt Van Ryzen with 5, and that rounds out the 47 points for the East Red Devils. A very disappointing crowd here, or rather I should say a disappointed crowd, not disappointing because we had a fantastic numbers in the Washington Middle School gymnasium tonight.
And I suppose that really depends on who they were rooting for. And certainly there are a lot of Preble Hornet fans here too, and they were pretty happy.
Well, I'm thinking of the home crowd, you know, the team here that is home base.
Sure, absolutely, you're right. Absolutely not.
But for the Preble Hornets, what a victory and what a season for Coach Keith Wall, who just went bananas. That was over. He was just raising his hand and hollering and jumping around. You thought he was part monkey.
Well, I'll tell you, this was it. I mean, we talked about how big a game this is, and these people are human beings, and they got feelings, and they're competitors, and when you win, you feel great, and when you don't win, it really hurts. And you know, you talk about the cliche of the agony of defeat and so forth, and my gosh, you're seeing that, and the exhilaration of victory, well, you're seeing that too.
Well, that's about it for us here tonight. Final score, 48-47. Preble wins the Fox River Valley Conference Championship, the 5th time since 1969. And with that, we're going to say goodnight from Washington Middle School. And thank you all for being our guests this past season, and hope you enjoyed our basketball schedule. Till we see you, hopefully next year, Don Binkowski for Mike McKenna, and of course Dave LeBar, who's not here tonight. We hope to see you in the future. So long, everybody. The final again, 48-47, Preble over East. Good night.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by your friends at Cablevision, Cable Ads, and All Car Automotive Center.